A giant buffalo is pinned down by a crashed helicopter, letting out helpless cries of pain. A woman rushes over to help, but her efforts are completely to no avail. Right then, the helicopter is suddenly lifted away. The woman looks up in pure amazement at the figure before her. It is King Kong. His massive height exerts a suffocating pressure. When she first arrived on this island, King Kong had already wiped out most of her companions. King Kong is the true master of this island, as well as the guardian deity of Skull Island. But why did he launch such a brutal slaughter? It turns out that as soon as humans arrived on Skull Island, they began to cause widespread destruction. King Kong naturally would not tolerate the ruin of his homeland. He grabs a tree and hurls it straight through an aircraft. Seeing King Kong lose his temper, the humans gathered to launch a coordinated attack on him. A relentless storm of gunfire rains down on King Kong's body, infuriating him. With a powerful swing, he grabs one helicopter, shakes the passengers straight into his mouth, and then leaps up to seize another, executing a brutal double kill. Every aircraft feels like a fragile toy in King Kong's hands, and soon, very few of the military force remain. Standing amidst the flames, the military commander stares at King Kong, swearing to make him pay the ultimate price. The surviving humans form a small team, planning to sneak into King Kong's lair and eliminate him. But what they don't realize is that the real danger on the island has only just begun. One companion, who had just sought cover in a bamboo forest, has his body completely impaled by a sharp stalk. It turns out to be the leg of a giant spider. Caught in a hopeless situation, the firepower of their guns cannot reach it. Watching his teammates perish one by one, he has no choice but to chop off the spider's leg. Then, aiming a machine gun at its vital spot, he finally neutralizes the creature. Yet shortly after stepping out of the bamboo forest, another teammate is snatched into the sky by a pack of flying monsters and torn apart right before the commander's eyes. As crisis emerges from every corner, many start planning an escape. One deserter secretly slips away to the lake, only to come face to face with King Kong, who stands as tall as a mountain. King Kong has clearly spotted him, causing the deserter to hide in terror behind a rock. However, King Kong has no intention of harming him. He simply kneels down to inspect the wounds inflicted on his body by the humans. Just then, countless tentacles suddenly rise from beneath the water. King Kong was simply trying to drink water and bathe, but he suddenly senses an anomaly beneath the surface. In an instant, countless tentacles burst out. It is a giant octopus. But as the guardian deity of Skull Island, how could King Kong fear such an opponent? He stomps down to crush its head and shoves it directly into his mouth, turning it into a seafood dinner. Meanwhile, the deserter, believing he has narrowly escaped death, sits down on a large log in the forest to catch his breath. To his horror, the log beneath him suddenly starts to move, revealing itself as a giant camouflaged insect. Fortunately, it leaves him unharmed. Just as the deserter is freezing in shock, a massive jaw lunges toward him from the shadows. This is the Skull Crawler, the most malevolent creature on Skull Island. Cruel and relentless, they slaughter everything in their path, leaving nothing but bones. They're even responsible for wiping out King Kong's entire species. Every time King Kong encounters them, he grinds his teeth in pure hatred, desperate to tear them apart. According to the indigenous people, King Kong is the true guardian deity of Skull Island, maintaining its ecological balance. As the absolute peak of the food chain, he has always suppressed the evil skull crawlers beneath the earth. Once King Kong perishes, the awakened skull crawlers will inevitably turn this entire island into a living hell. Unfortunately, the commander remains completely blinded by his burning rage, unable to forget the loss of his